Right now, without realizing it, you are copying someone. The way you cross your arms, the way you laugh, the slang you use, the brand you trust more than the others. None of it is fully yours. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why your brain is wired to copy other people, even when it costs you money, your health, or your own identity. And by the end of this video, you won't be able to unsee it in your own life. Stick around because the third reason is the one almost nobody knows, and it explains why entire countries can be fooled at the same time. Let's start with a simple test. Back in the 1950s, a scientist named Solomon Asch ran an experiment. He put a group of people in a room and showed them a card with one line on it. Then he showed them 3 more lines and asked a simple question. Which of these 3 matches the first one? It was easy. Anyone could get it right just by looking. But there was a trick. Every person in that room except one was secretly an actor, and Asch told them all to give the same wrong answer on purpose. So imagine you're the one real person in that room. Everyone before you says the wrong line out loud with total confidence. What do? Here's what actually happened. 3 out of every 4 people copied the group at least once. They looked straight at the correct line and said the wrong one anyway, just to match everyone else. Why would anyone do that? Because your brain doesn't just trust its own eyes, it also trusts the crowd. And there's a reason for that. Thousands of years ago, if everyone around you suddenly started running, stopping to figure out why could get you killed. The people who copied first and asked questions later were the ones who survived. Over time, that instinct got wired into all of us. Psychologists call this social proof. The idea that we use what everyone else is doing as a shortcut for what must be correct. It's the same reason a restaurant with a long line outside looks more appealing than the empty one right next to it. You haven't tasted either meal. Your brain is simply reading the crowd and assuming it knows something you don't. Now, here's where it gets stranger, because this isn't just a habit, it's physical. In the 1990s, scientists studying monkeys found something by accident. They noticed that a group of brain cells fired not just when a monkey grabbed a peanut, but when the monkey simply watched another monkey grab a peanut. The brain couldn't tell the difference between doing something and watching someone else do it. These are called mirror neurons, and humans have them too. It's why you wince when someone else stubs their toe. It's why yawns are contagious. It's why you start talking a little differently after spending a weekend with a friend who has a strong accent. You're not choosing to copy them. Your brain is quietly rehearsing their behavior as if it were your own, before you're even aware it's happening. And this is where it gets useful to know, because some people have learned to use this on purpose. Ever notice how, on a good first date, you and the other person start mirroring each other? Same posture, same drink, same pace of talking. This is called the chameleon effect, and researchers found something wild about it. The more 2 strangers unconsciously mimic each other's body language, the more they report liking each other afterward, even though neither of them noticed it happening. Copying isn't just about safety. It's a bonding signal. It tells another person's brain, I am like you. I am safe. Trust me. Which is exactly why the best salespeople, negotiators, and yes, con artists are taught to subtly mirror the person across the table. Not to manipulate through words, but through movement the other person never consciously notices. You've probably done this 100 times without knowing it, and now you'll notice it in every conversation you have for the rest of the week. You're welcome. Here's a strange one. Copying doesn't just make you do things. It can make you do nothing, even when someone needs help. Picture this. A person collapses on a busy street. Dozens of people walk past. Nobody stops. Now picture the same person collapsing on an empty street with just one person nearby. That one person is far more likely to help. This seems backwards. More people around should mean more help available. But researchers found the opposite. The more witnesses there are, the less likely any single person is to act. It's called the bystander effect, and copying is the exact reason it happens. In a crowd, everyone glances around before reacting. If nobody else looks alarmed, your brain reads that as, must not be serious, and you copy the crowd's calm instead of trusting your own instinct. Meanwhile, everyone else is doing the exact same calculation at the exact same time. The result? A room full of people, each waiting for someone else to move first, and nobody does. It's the same copying instinct from earlier, just aimed at inaction instead of action. And it's one of the reasons emergency responders are trained to point at one specific person and give a direct order instead of shouting, "Someone call an ambulance," to the whole crowd. A direct command breaks the copying loop and forces one person to stop scanning the room and start acting. Here's the part I promised you at the start. Social proof and mirroring aren't just quirky brain facts. They can move entire crowds at once. And when they go wrong, they go very wrong. In financial markets, this is called herd behavior. People don't buy a stock because they researched it. They buy it because everyone around them is buying it. And their brain interprets that as, "This must be safe." This exact pattern has driven markets to speculative bubbles, where prices detach almost completely from what anything is actually worth, followed by painful crashes once the copying stops, and the same people who piled in together get left holding the loss together. The same wiring explains why harmful trends spread on social media faster than warnings about them, why rumors outperform fact checks, why one person's panic in a crowded room can trigger everyone else's panic in seconds, even if nothing dangerous is actually happening. It's also why entire online communities can convince themselves of something false almost overnight. Not because the evidence changed, but because enough people in the group believed it first. Your brain's copying instinct doesn't check if the crowd is right. It only checks if there is a crowd. And that's the uncomfortable truth. The same shortcut that helped humans survive for 200,000 years is the same one that can be hijacked by anyone who understands it. A marketer, a scammer, an algorithm designed to keep you scrolling. So does this mean copying is bad? Not at all. Copying is how humans learn almost everything: language, skill, culture. A child doesn't need to reinvent fire. They just copy someone who already knows. It's arguably the single biggest reason humans became the dominant species on this planet. The goal isn't to stop copying. It's to know when you're doing it. Next time you feel the pull to buy something because everyone has one, or believe something because everyone's saying it, pause for 2 seconds and ask one question. Would I still believe this if I were the only person in the room? That single question is the difference between a brain running on autopilot and one that's actually thinking. So the next time you feel the pull to buy something because everyone has one, believe something because everyone's saying it, or stay quiet in a room because nobody else is reacting. You'll know exactly what's happening in your own head. That's the whole point of this video. Once you can see the copying, you get to choose when to follow it and when not to. If this was useful, hit subscribe and let me know in the comments. When's the last time you caught yourself copying the crowd? See you in the next one.